episode of your Sparkle of Creativity show on Mondo Market TV with Shahar Boyayan. Today we're going to create something amazing. We're going to create Mason Jar Ornaments from the wild, and it's going to be wild. But before we get started, don't forget that for the best viewing experience, MondoMarketTV.com is where it's at. On there is a video where you can watch us live and a chat box below the video where you can participate and interact with us. We love it when you chat with us. We love knowing that you're out there and that we're not alone in the studio. Yeah. So do say hi, do participate, be a part of the conversation. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, I monitor there as well. So if you're more comfortable there, feel free to interact there and chat it up with us, and I will certainly chat it up, and I will. Is that even a thing? I don't even know. But I'll make sure that your comment gets read. And hey, don't forget to share. Yes, if you have friends who might be interested in creating Christmas ornaments, let them know that we're live right now. Like, comment, share, do all that. Let's get together and have an all-around great time. Okay. All right, Shahar?
Together we're better together.
Ooh, by the way, we've got Beverly. She says hello from Australia. Yes, welcome, welcome. Pauline says hi.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy. Welcome, everyone. We're so stoked that you're here. So, Shahar, tell us what we're going to do today.
Well, last week we made some camper ornaments, right?
Ooh, yes, we did.
This week we are
my
microphone.
Twist. No, just twist it up.
Yeah,
there we go.
Don't worry.
We're good.
Don't worry. I can do that by myself.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so last week we did the campers ornaments, and today we are going to make the Mason Jar ornaments, which I find them so cute.
They're adorable.
Yeah, I want to know, first of all, and please do say,
yes, how
many Mason jars do you have at home?
A bunch.
You think a bunch?
I feel like every time I look, I see a Mason jar without the lid.
Yeah, I do have several. Well, some of us do have a lot because we like to make preserves, and we like to, have things brine and things like that. So we use for food storage, or just because you like that kind of snack, right? I like, for example, after I learned about watermelon rinds, is that how you say?
Rinds, I think.
Well, the
green part.
The green part, I love them. They are a perfect snack. I love dry tomatoes as well. So I do have Mason jars for that. But I think it's something that is almost everybody has some Mason jars at home.
Yes.
Because when there are some leftovers, so Mason jars are America. Right? It's such a staple in anybody's home.
Yes.
So I want to know if you have. And that's why the idea of Mason jars, and her complaining that, she doesn't want to wash the Mason jar, or the lid is not closed.
No, I'm tired of keeping Mason jars that don't have lids. Like, somehow they all disappear.
They have lids. They're just in a specific drawer.
They're just somewhere else.
Yeah, it's just like socks. You never find the lid.
So Beverly said she has heaps of Mason jars.
Yeah, they're super useful, right? And today, they come in every single size you can think of. And in fact, in many craft stores, you go and you have the Mason jars, because really there's a whole array of crafts that you can create with them. So we're honoring Christmas and Mason jars because they come really well together.
All right.
Okay? So why don't you grab the three that we are going to talk about today?
Ooh,
and while she does that, I have to tell you, so last week when we created the campers, it's a very similar process. And I went step by step with you. Today, I'm going to explain what I already showed in that one, so we can look at other things while we create the Mason jars, right? So if there is any doubt in your mind when this show is over, go watch that one, because the process is quite similar. Do you want to show?
I do. So tell me, do you want to talk a little bit about each one as I show them?
Sure.
All right, tell me about this one.
So this one, the lamps. I love lamps.
Yes.
I think they're the cutest thing ever.
Super cute.
So here, what we have is 2 lamps, and then I added some embroidery, and I think it makes for a very fun kind of ornament.
But
of course, these are not tiny ornaments. Like the campers are small, These are big. I also think they make gorgeous gifts to give, or if you belong to groups that do the ornament exchange,
yes,
they are so unique that nobody is going to have that.
Now, they're totally unique. And Shahar, wait a minute, these are mason jars, but not the real ones, huh?
Aha! It's a homage to mason jars and Christmas and the country feel that they bring to you.
I think this one is adorable. It's one of my favorites.
This is the one we are going to be making together.
Awesome.
Okay, the chicken. I think chicken and kitchen, I don't know why, they go really well together.
I have several. You know, what's funny, completely unrelated to this, I have a little dyslexia that kicks in. Every time I want to say kitchen, I say chicken.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So when you go to the restaurant, you say, give me a fried kitchen?
Chicken.
Okay, and this one, one of my favorite animals, the fox. Look
at this one, how cute.
Yes, and also some embroidery on that. So you have to think about the idea that it can be very fast and simple, or you can sophisticate a little bit more with the embroidery.
Yes.
And it makes even more special.
Do you want these on set, or shall I hang them on our tree?
Can you leave me the chicken?
The chicken.
Yes, so that's the one we will be making today. It's very fun and very easy, but like I said, it brings something extra to the ornaments. In our pattern, of course, this is the size because it's mimicking a mason jar, so making it a lot smaller wouldn't make a lot of sense. But of course, you can always decrease or increase the size. I don't know if you're aware of this, but if you go to your computer and you scan or if you get the digital format, you scan, you can decrease and increase the size to fit that. I would say that with the correct handle, even as luggage
a luggage tag.
It would be cool. You could embroider your name here. Of course, fun. It can be like this. It has to be something sturdy, but it makes really unique. I don't know about you, but if you travel a lot, you know, when you get to the airport, you think you have the only red bag in town, and you notice that everybody in that plane had a red bag. Okay, so what do you need? Same things that you needed last time. First, you have to decide what you like to use, more felt or wool. You can mix them. The wool always brings, it makes it fancier than the felt. It really does. And it's very cool to work with. And today you find wool, not only you could cut some old sweaters that you have, but you find wool in most quilting places or yarn places. So they're easy to find. What I like about the wool is that they have very cool patterns that you can add to the picture here, see, and bring, you know, tell the story in a different way. Not that you cannot find felt with some patterns, but they are usually sparse, so the smaller the piece, the harder it gets to use that pattern felt. With that said, this one is a craft felt in the back. It has some ridges, which we use that for the camper as well because it added to the whole. So it's a cool thing as well.
Texture.
But the wool makes it more fancier than the others. So I kind of mix a little bit of both according to what I want to design.
Very nice.
So you do need the wood. You need the fusible web paper that you find in the sewing department of any craft store as well. It helps in two ways. One, it brings more bulk, but more sturdiness to whatever you're cutting, and you will be cutting small pieces. The second thing it does is easy to apply, so it glues to the other fabric very, very easily as well. So it's kind of a stabilizer for what you're doing, especially when you're embroidering. You know that if you do any embroidery, if you don't do any, I'm just going to tell you, if you are working with a very flimsy kind of fabric, when your embroidery starts going all together, the end result's not good. So you need something to stabilize to make it stay straight so you can do whatever you want on the surface. And the third thing that it doesn't apply to the felt, but it does apply to the wool. It's not going to let the piece fray. Because if I cut a body or a face or anything on the wool alone and you know, try to put on the surface, even if I can embroider some, it's more likely that I will have it start fraying at some point, especially if, you know, I touch a lot. When you use the fusible web with the wool, you're not going to have that issue. So easy to find. Any quilting store will have that as well. It has one part that is the paper that is very, how do you say, very easy to touch. And some texture on the other side where the glue is.
A very distinct texture. Now this, I remember when you found it, this was a lifesaver, right?
Oh, my lifesaver was...
changed.
Well, it did. With the embroidery, yes.
Yes.
But then I found the foam. That is this one. In this case, I didn't put that, but you can. So this foam, I use a lot for my bags. Because again, for the purses, because again, instead of the wool, for example, the last one I tried and it didn't sew on my machine, so I left without. When it's up, it goes like this, right?
It makes your purse,
so it makes more sturdy.
Your purse is totally flimsy, but with that, it just like keeps its shape.
The bulk. So most of them have this. I love this actually, and you can use this here as well, and you will have a more three-dimensional one. In this case here, I didn't use that. What else do you need? You need embroidery floss.
Any specific one or size?
No, you can, you know,
anything
I think a cool idea with the ornaments is using what you have at home.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to go out and buy stuff, but if you have at home, use what you have. You can create amazing things with that. And of course, you do need the patterns that we offer here. So it comes with the three of them, the chicken, the fox, and the lamb.
Yes.
Right? And I did design them with the small pieces apart, so you don't have to do that. You can just cut. Or what I like to do, I actually print a second one, and I cut that one and use as a template for the fusible web.
Fantastic.
Just, for me, is easier than transferring, but you could use carbon paper or something to first. So the first thing you do is you actually transfer or get the pattern and go around with the paper. We did this last time. So let's suppose I was making this. I would just go around my template and design that.
By the way, Vicky Anderson says, hello. Hello, Vicky.
Hey. So you put all your pieces here, and then you come with the pieces of fabric that you want, like I did with this, and you put on top on the core side. So the one thing I want you to remember, and it's good revisiting, is that the right side of the fabric will be facing you at this moment, okay? And the wrong side of the fabric is the one touching the coarse paper here. So what I usually do is I have everything designed, so I go with my template and I go around with the pieces, and then I put on my ironing board upside down. Why? Well, one of the things is I will have more pressure putting on my ironing board the fabric than the fusible web. Second is no glue will get into my iron either, right? And it's just easier. And then I just go with the iron, whoops, and it fell. And I go around without, I actually don't go around. I put on the fusible web and I leave it there. I don't do this, which is normal when we are ironing. I pressure, and that should be enough. And you also don't want water on you don't want the steam, thank you, when you're doing this, okay? You want it dry, so no water in your iron. That's very easy. And once everything is glued there, you just cut it out. And that's where we are going to actually start today.
So so she explained it all. However, if you would like to see it, feel free to go back to last week's episode where she actually cuts and traces and goes through the entire process.
Yes.
It's the one on the campers, and it's adorable. And by the way, Vicky, we're creating these adorable Mason jar ornaments. Look at these. Look how cute. This is the one that we're doing together right now. So perfect.
And we have the fox and the lamb. So
yes, they're super cute.
The whole wild. I think country animals.
Yeah.
Christmas, you know, of course you can always go out and buy ornaments, so you can even collect them. There are many fun things that you have to, that you can put in.
Your own?
Well, you create your own in things that have an emotional feeling to you. It's way better than buying anything.
I agree.
And even here that I'm stopping and we're talking and everything, it goes really fast, so they're fast to make. Perfect. Once you glue everything, the embroidery part you can do watching TV. So it's just something that you say, okay, I'm telling this story about this Christmas. And then you add there, right? And, you know, anything that reminds us of nature, I think is a great way to start. So I did cut all my pieces with the fusible web in the back, right? And now I can start putting that together.
What if I show them what it looks like with the fusible web?
In a second. So I have the front and the back. I did use different colors. I also did this in most of them, actually. Okay,
oh,
because
yeah.
I am using scraps of what I have. And
no, but it looks nice.
It looks
Look,
nice.
Front. Yeah. Can you see the front here? And then back. See?
Yeah. The one thing I would do different it would be if I'm giving this away as a gift or an ornament exchange or a guild that I belong and I want to take some, you know, gifts there. Of course, I would add with a pen my name here and a year for
sign
that,
it?
right?
Yes.
You always sign what you create. That's a cool thing. Remember one thing, when you're cutting the base, so the base for this is the jar, the base for the campers was the body of the camper. When you're putting there your pattern, you put the pattern this way and then you turn around and you do the opposite. Why? Because if I did them the same way, this would happen. Let me show you. This would happen. One side would be showing the fusible web that you don't want. So you have to inverse them so you have a perfect match when you put them together. Okay, this is an important thing. So this is, both of them at this point have the fusible web. The back I'm going to put apart because I'm only coming back to the back at the very end.
So here it is. This is it right here, the felt part, and then the fusible back. Web. And you can see, because if I just hold it like this, it's fused onto it.
It is, and how do you know it's fused? That's a good thing. Maybe you want to show. I'm taking just a little bit. If I take just a little, I'm not going to take this out right now. That's not the purpose. But look at the fabric.
Oh yeah, you see it. There's
and
you
see the glue there. Exactly.
Like
that's
this is it for real.
And
now look at it here. See how different it is.
And sometimes that's useful because you may be with the iron not hot enough and it doesn't grab, so you can go again. Okay, but I'm leaving for now the paper in the back because I want to work here, right? So then I'm going to grab my other pieces.
By the way, Patty says hi. Hi, Patty.
Hey, Patty. Hey, are they answering if they have mason jars at home?
We want to know, do you have tons of mason jars at home? We do. And Bev has heaps too. So yes, I want to know, do you?
So I'm putting I took all the papers out just for the sake of time, so you're not watching me peeling paper. And I'm putting the pieces for my chicken together, okay? This one, for some reason, has some web poking out. So when I took the paper out, some of the glue stayed. And you can position, I like to position my stuff even before I do anything, just to see if I'm doing it right. Because it would be very easy for me to come and put the feet here and glue this together, or this way, and then come with this part of the tummy and, oh, I made a mistake and now I have to start over because this one will not be usable anymore. So just think about what you want to do first. So once I have, for now, I'm going to put the belly, but I want this part open so I can insert flowers here. I could even do the flowers before, but just so I don't have to be thinking, is it this high or that high, I'm going to do the belly first. And of course, now I can also put my feet wherever I want and position. So what I'm going to do next is come with the iron and iron this so it glues to the surface. But I have to use a piece of cotton, and I'm going to use a piece of wool, because again, I forgot last week too, on here before I put the iron. Why is that? It's especially important if you're using craft felt, because many of them, like the one that has the ridges, they are they're almost plasticky, right? So it will glue to your iron, and you don't want that. And it takes forever later to clean that. Just ask Chase, because I did that here. I'm going to try to leave this open a little bit. If I don't, I can just pull it out too. Doesn't matter. And so I can put my iron is hot, and it's not with water.
Oh yeah, no steam.
No steam.
By the way, Patty said absolutely tons of mason jars.
See?
And Marie Lewis said, I love chickens. So
Me too.
Love this. These are adorable.
I have a chicken that I knitted. Look. We actually have a Mondo Market with that chicken. We sell the pattern. And it's the most adorable thing ever. And guess where it is? Right on my kitchen. Right?
Yes.
You were going to show something?
I just did. I showed the mason jar so Marie Lewis can see it.
Oh, so she can see how it is.
This is the one that we're creating right now.
So I have my chicken here. And if I pull here, you could make the ornament just doing this and, kind of stopping. You can use a pen, a Sharpie to put the eyes and you say, okay, it's over, it's done. You can do that, but it doesn't look as good. So let's go through the whole process and then you make a decision. Unless you're making this, maybe it's a grandparents' day and you want to make a quick craft with your grandchildren, you could. Of course, you have to take care of the iron. Then it would be okay. But if you're doing this as a gift or your own ornament, you have to be a little more, careful with the end result. So now I want to make some flowers to add here. On my original one, I think I have 3 flowers, correct? So I have to choose which designs I want. One of them, it's going to be, I'm not going to put fusible webs on this one, and you will see why in a second. Let me choose another 2 designs that I actually can turn off. I'm kind of paranoid with irons.
Shahar, while you're doing that, how about if I share something with them?
Oh, yes.
All right, friends. So Shahar has created these adorable patterns. I mean, you saw how cute the chicken one is that we're doing together today. So there are 2 other ones. There's the chicken, there's the lambs, and the fox. And she created the pattern and made it available for you. So you can get it at mondomarkettv.com. You can go there right now. We're launching it today, so it has a special introductory price. But these kits are fantastic, and they come complete with the pictures for ideas, the patterns, and instructions. And the cool thing is there's 2 options. There's the physical one, so we'll actually mail this out to you. Or there's the downloadable one that will give you instant access. And for less than a dinner out, for less than desserts,
for less than a sandwich.
For less than, yeah, exactly. You can get it and start creating these beautiful ornaments. Now these are super fun. They're super cute and they're super, super adorable. You can do them together. If you have a family tradition of creating Christmas ornaments, this is perfect for that. And they're different and unique, and that's what I love about them. They're not just like every other ornament out there. They have a flair, and they're going to tell your story. So I highly recommend and invite you to go to mondomarkettv.com right now to get yours, because these are awesome.
Awesome. So I got 3 beautiful pieces of wool. And I just I eyeballed this, but I cut in squares of 1 inch each. You do have the flowers in your pattern if you want to cut the flowers. I just want to show you a little trick here. So what I do is I get my 1 inch or so, and I will fold in the middle and fold it again. So I end up with a tiny square, okay? What I do is I cut a triangle on each side. There you go. And then I cut the petal here. And I can decrease this if I want a smaller one, no problem. But when I open, I already have a flower. See? So it's one way of doing it. You can cut with the pattern as well. But sometimes, especially if you want to make several, this can be a little easier. So I cut the sides, and then I cut the petal on the top. So I just round that top. And of course, I can go smaller if I want to. So here it goes. Now, like I told you, I didn't put any fusible web here. You can if you want, because see, it's easy to fray, but with the flower, I don't see an issue in the whole thing. Okay, so.
I love the colors that you picked for that one.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, love it.
Okay, so let's cut that.
And that one you have the fusible web on.
I don't have it in any of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but you can. I just want them to be not glued to the final. I want to be coming out of my chicken. So this one, see, it didn't come out okay. I just need to cut a little bit more the edge here and make it okay.
What isn't making it okay?
Well, it was not the shape of a flower.
Oh, gotcha.
It's just the cutting that needed to be more. Okay, so now that I have them, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to think about what color you're going to use for the middle of your flower. I'm going to use the same color for all three of them, but you can change. Let's go with yellow. Change. Change. So what I'm going to do is do a gather stitch in a round format, like if it was the middle of my flower.
Do you want to do that gather stitch right here?
I can try.
Try. It might.
And maybe we'll do just one.
Okay.
For the sake of time. Let me get a color that shows better. Let me see. Where is it? Where is it? But here they cannot see from the top, my darling.
Okay.
Let's go back. You just wanted to go for a straw.
Yes.
Okay.
You know me.
So here,
Let's see.
here,
there.
here,
There.
yes.
Perfect.
So I'm going to create a gather stitch and go around a little bit bigger. A little bigger than you first think, oh, it makes sense, okay?
So
and why is that? I just want to be able to pull this later.
Don't do anything. I just want to welcome right now, because some folks just joined us. Welcome Andrea, Shalyn, Karen, welcome to our stream. We're creating beautiful Christmas ornaments. This is the one we're creating today right now together. It's adorable. It's the chicken. Yes, you're gonna see how it's done. And Shahar at the moment is working on the flowers.
Show the fox and the lamb too.
Well, but this is the one that they're watching you make. But look at this. Okay, so you saw the chicken. Okay. Now this right here is the fox. Look how adorable that is. And of course, we also have the lamb. These are super cute, super fun.
Super fun to make.
Yes.
And they are all part of the pattern.
Yes.
Okay, so I just went, and did 3 stitches in a gather stitch. No biggie. All I want to do now is be able to pull this flower.
Gather.
Or gather the flower. See, proper
when you
English.
pull it,
okay, and now I come here.
Yes.
And I'm going to insert my flower in the tummy, just to make it fun. And I will first just go with my needle to the back. Oh, stop. Almost made a mistake. When you start embroidering, that is the time you take the paper out. You don't want to embroider with the paper, okay? Time to throw it. So I was going to put it and it would give me sorrow later. Okay, I just go inside. I just want to be able to secure my flower and position the way I want. Okay, come back. And now, if it doesn't become a huge knot here, I'm going to make, I have the habit of saying rococo. That's how it's called in Brazil, but here's the French knot. French knot are some people's nightmare, but they are actually very easy to make. You gather the thread here, your needle, and you go 1, 2 around the needle, and go almost on the same spot that you came in and came out, but you hold the other thread. Keep it holding there, and go. Once the whole thread goes through, you have this tiny, cute knot here. Let me take this away. And there you go. Let's do one more together, and then we'll move on to something else that I want to show you how to make. Because it is the details that you put that makes all the difference in your... And you don't need to do knots here. You could just go inside. But again, I'm kind of paranoid. I want the things to last. And since I'm going to cover this with the back, it doesn't matter if I have a knot here or not, okay? So again, I'll do the same thing with my second flower. And I always like, when it comes to designing anything, to go with odd numbers. So 3 flowers I believe is always more pleasant. So I come with the second one, and I have to do the same thing, just gather some stitches. So you can pull. And take your time. So if you do smaller stitches here, it's going to go for a better result. I'm always running when I'm on camera, but you do take your time. Okay. And one more. And then what do? Just like in a yo-yo, you pull that.
Just like a yo-yo.
Okay. And then you're going to add.
By the way, we're welcoming David Cornell to our broadcast.
Hey,
welcome!
The guppy guy.
The guppy guy.
Okay. I have beautiful guppies at home now. Okay. So then, of course, you come back and you do the French knot. How do you do? Can you repeat to me? How do you do? Do you remember how you do a French knot? You should, because it's been like, if you put together all the shows that we had, where we do a French knot, you go 2 times around the needle, insert almost in the place you came out, and hold the thread with your thumbnail. And when it goes, it creates a beautiful, kind of beautiful here, showing my stitch. Okay, and then you put the third one. So you got that, right? Let's move to the eyes. Now, the eyes, you have several options. You could put a bead there. You could use a Sharpie and create those 2 dots. I like, what do I like, Nash? What do I like, Nash?
You like to create a knot.
Yeah, I like to create a knot, exactly. So I'm going to do the same thing with the eyes. So with the country chickens, you see, where's this one? You can see that it has the eyes very close together and close to the beak.
Yes.
Right? It's just more of the country look, and that's what we are going to do. So once again, I'm going to insert, and you can do with a pencil if you think, oh, but what if I do it wrong? You can just do this and see if you like where they are, okay? So no stress. This is supposed to be almost like a meditation for you. You start the ornament, you're thinking about the cool things that you're going to do during Christmas, what you're going to eat, if you're the one cooking or there's somebody else, the gifts that you're going to give to people you love. So it's not a time to stress. That's why, we make it easy for you. You get the pattern, you put there, and that's all. Okay, and now the other eyes. See how fast it is. Now, oops, don't grab my... Remember last time, on the last episode, I told you that one great way for you to secure your design is to do a straight stitch around the figure, okay? We are not going to do the whole figure here, but you see, even here where I have the petals, this will come out at some point. So choose a color that you like, and you are going to be doing the straight stitch. Anybody can do this stitch, by the way. And you just go around the piece. Here you can skip the feet if you want, but it would be nice to have inside the feet as well. And you see that even though the black is a very strong color, you would look kind of cool here. And you go around, stitching all around, so the piece is secure and it's going to last a long time. Now, and we're not going to do this for the sake of time because you already know how to do this. What I do, and you're noticing also that I am making knots while I am embroidering. Why? They are going to be covered by the back of the mason jar, right? So nobody will ever see. It saves you a lot of time. So here on the top of the jar, I like to make those ridges that it has so you can screw the lid, right? So you can come here with a straight stitch as well, or with a split stitch. So you do one stitch, then you come inside the stitch, pull it out, and put the next one. See, what this does is create a straight line for you, if that's what you're looking for. If I do just the straight stitch like I did on the chicken, it's not going to give me a straight line. Now, even though you're working here with a straight line, you can go a little up and a little down just to create more interest. Whatever pleases your mind. I like to do at least 3 of these ridges on my top, and that's what I did with all of them. Would you mind showing them one of them?
Yeah.
Just for them to see the end result, because here I'm just doing 2.
Super cute.
See? And you can create with other colors and everything. It brings interest to the piece as well.
Just adds a little oomph to it.
Yeah. Now, have you noticed on that chicken that I do have some flowers there?
Yes.
So let's learn how to make those flowers.
Oh, you're referring to these little ones on the sides?
Yes, for this one, yes.
Oh, those are cute.
You see that on the fox, we have the French knot. right? And then on the sheep, we have, I forgot the name of the stitch, but it creates that vine feeling. It's with the instructions.
Okay.
So once you get your pattern, you have the instructions for the stitches as well. So even if you never touched a needle, you will be able to make it.
Exactly. So yes, and so she mentioned a pattern, and you're like, well, where do I get that pattern? MondoMarketTV.com is where you get it. There's two versions. You can get a physical copy that will mail out to you, or an instant download one. For less than dessert, you can get these and start creating. And they're really cool because they come with the instructions, complete instructions of how to do them, the pictures as ideas, and you can get started right away. And in fact, this video stays forever online, as well as the one that we talked about, the campers from last week. I'll show you the camper right here. This is one example. These are super cute. This is just one sample, but look how adorable this is. So in the previous episode, Shahar showed us how to create camper ornaments, vintage camper ornaments. And in that one, you can watch that one as well, because she goes over how to create some of the stitches there as well, if you need help with the stitches. So just go to MondoMarketTV.com to get yours.
So I basically did the 3 lines that I wanted, okay? And let's move on to the flowers. You know, during the course of my life, I have met amazing people. If I had gotten one ornament made by each one, it would be awesome. Now, some of them are still around, and I can go and tell them and give them the idea.
Oh, thank
Some are not, yes. But look, whoever you have in your life today, why not do a get-together and make and really trade the ornaments?
That's a great idea.
With family. It wouldn't be fun if I had an ornament that my grandmother made, or my mother made, or my aunt made, or one of my cousins. And now, for example, that I'm far away from all of them, and many of them have gone, I could go to my Christmas tree and really treasure those memories with those people all the time. That's what people sometimes don't get about handmade things, how important it is, because it carries a story and it carries feelings with those, and they are all good feelings. So it's so much more powerful than anything that you could buy out there. There is no comparison. And I understand that sometimes you give something handmade and they look like you are an alien or something, right? And they say thank you because they cannot say, they don't want to say what they are thinking. But it doesn't matter, because you are educating them to put value in things that you make, that you put time and thought into making, more than, you know, store-bought stuff.
I like that, Shahar. I agree. I think it's really cool when you give someone something that you made rather than just store-bought, because it has the feelings, it has the meaning behind it.
It has the meaning, and it has your energy, and it has a story. That you know, even if you think, oh, I love chickens, I'm going to make chickens. Well, why you love chickens, and why do you think they're cute, and why should other people think about chickens? So it has a lot into something that it may look simple at the beginning.
By the way, Shillian said, these are so freaking cute.
They are cute.
They're super cute.
Let's learn how to make the rose, because once you learn, Sherry.
Yeah.
Hey. Let's learn how to make the rose, because once you make one, you want to make 10,000 of them. So you're going to insert your needle where would be the middle of your flower, okay? And what you have to think in this type of rose is that I need to create an odd number of spikes, because I'm going to go in and out with the thread. I'm going to weave a flower, actually, in this embroidery. So I need 5, I could have more as long as they are odd numbers, but I'm going to put 5 spikes. So if you're afraid to do without looking, you know, having a pattern or something, just draw with a pencil where you're going to put those spikes. Okay, I don't usually draw, I eyeball. I don't want them to be too long. Why? Because the longer the spike, the bigger the flower will be. And in here, it would, design-wise, it would work better if I had several smaller ones than very big ones. But it's up to you. What you're going to do to create the spike, you're here at the middle, so you saw my design here. I create 1 spike, go through, and I'm using 6 threads. It works just fine, you don't need to go back to the middle.
And by the way, these really are fun to make, the little roses.
You actually make them on concrete,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, on my concrete jewelry.
You should show Dave that. Dave Cornell, which he's watching us.
He likes to play with concrete.
He likes to play with concrete for the garden. But he
garden sculptures, yes.
Yes, but he should see what you make, because she uses concrete and embroidery floss, and the pieces are amazing. So I'm just creating those 5 spikes. So I always come out again in the middle, and I create the next one. And sometimes one of them is a little longer than the other, no big deal. Don't worry, this is supposed to, you know, not stress you whatsoever.
Marie Lewis said, "You mean everyone doesn't like chickens? What?"
Yeah, right. I like them, yes.
We have our dog, Mr. Goji Berry. He's obsessed with chicken.
Yes,
in fact,
he likes to eat the chicken, though.
Yeah. When we got him, he came with a little baggie of grilled chicken.
Yes,
she was like, "Here's this for the road." He's crazy about chicken.
Yes, but we even have my salt and pepper is a couple. The rooster and the chicken.
Yes, it's true, the salt and pepper shaker.
Okay, so now I have the 5 spikes.
Okay,
let's look from the top. And you see here, simple. What do I have to do now?
What?
I'm going to weave. When you're weaving, if you ever tried anything, weaving on a loom or weaving baskets or whatever, the idea is you have the warping, you have the main lines, which is these 5 spikes, and then you are going to go over and under, over and under. That's what you do basically, right? So that's exactly what we are going to do here. So the first row, I'm going to go on the first spike under, and then I'm over the second, under the third, over the fourth, and under the fifth. That is the reason I need an odd number. Okay, now I'm going to the side, and you pull a little bit because this is the core of the flower. And then what you're going to do from now on is always the opposite. So you ended here under, of course this one has to go over, under, and it's really fast. I'm going to hold this, so I'm going to go over the last one, and under, always the opposite. And you tug, oops, leave my flowers there. You tug just a little bit once you complete the row, because you do want to close the flower a little bit, okay? And that is all for this stitch. Let's see how it comes out at the end. And another reason I didn't make very long spikes, see, is because this is going to be very fast for me to create the flower. The bigger the spike, the more I would have to add.
What I also really love about this flower in particular is that it's a 3D, like it pops out of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So they're adorable that way, because it's not flat on the surface that you're working. It actually pops out. Yeah,
and for me, that's important. If you see, I make a lot of stuff. I like to play and I like to learn. So I'm always trying new things. I don't know if you notice my Dorset buttons that I have here on my own. Where is it? Here.
Where'd it go?
I have here.
Oh,
and
nice.
I have the buttons.
Oh, that's fancy.
Huh? Isn't that fancy? Hey. So it was one that I was not wearing. I decided let's do something different. So I learned how to make the buttons, and now I have hundreds of them. I do like, but the thing is, I'm not a 2D type of person. Nothing that doesn't have volume attracts me. So I don't paint, I don't draw, not into anything really two-dimensional. It's not my thing.
Not your thing?
Nope. Okay, let me not lose my line of thought here. So this came over, this has to go under. So you're going to do several rows, and what happens as it goes is that it starts forming the rows, but it also, some of the thread will overlap and go to the top, and that creates more bulk to that flower, and that's all good. There you go. Just a few more rounds and it's ready. I also do adjust them. See? So I know where I have, if I want more bulk, if I want it to be higher, I add more. But basically you're going to be adding this until you fill the spikes. And that's about it. But you're going to see something is about to happen. You see that I still have room in my spikes, most of them. But this one is about to, I filled the whole thing. What do I do now? Do I have to stop and leave one spike off? Well, this one is still, I still can go with the needle there. The next round I won't be able. Okay, so under, over, under. And that happens quite often, especially when you eyeball the spikes. But see, now I have to go over. It's not a big deal, but I could just grab a little bit of the felt. But since it's over now, I'm not going to do that. I let it go. And I go again. Now, when I come the next time, I can grab a little bit of the felt or even a little bit of the thread, and it will do the under part. And that's it. And when you're done, look here. Again, adjust your flower a little bit. See if it's like you want. You can always tug and make it cozier. And there you go. Let's show. Can you show there?
Super cute. I think so. Okay, look at this. I think you can. It's small, so it's hard. But look how cute. And it's three-dimensional. See how it pops out?
If it was a little bigger, I could create more and more volume there, make it bigger. So you will have to play a little bit.
Yeah.
And play how many you want. On that one, I think we have 3, right?
This one, we have 2, I think.
2.
No, 3, yes.
Okay.
1 at the top.
Well, when you're done, you go to the back and you just insert once. You really don't need to do a knot, but you can. And then you start the next one with a different color. See? So very, very easy. And then you put as many as you want. Okay? Well, what's the last step? Exactly same thing. So of course this one needs to be finished, right? I need to add more embroidery. I need to go with the straight stitch all around my chicken. So it's right, not only secure, but then it really brings the country feeling.
Yes,
right?
And it gives it a nice finishing. I mean, look, when you compare, let's say, this obviously is a work in progress still, but when you compare the two, look how the difference, right? Like this one looks, it has just a little oomph to it.
Yeah. So you do have to spend the time doing the embroidery part, but it's so easy that you really don't need to think twice. Well,
by the way, Guest 310 said, forget chicken in a biscuit. This is chicken in a jar.
Chicken in a jar.
Chicken in a jar.
Oh, there's a song with that.
Chicken on a chicken.
No, there's something on a jar. Okay.
Chicken, watch them feathers fly.
Okay, so now the end, super simple. You have the back of your jar. You do take it out, the paper, the backing paper, as you did with the other. Once you do, again, it's not finished. I'm not going to do that. But you put them together and you press with the iron. Don't forget the cotton on top so it doesn't ruin your felt or the iron. Once it's glued together, what do? We do the blanket stitch that you see on that, and I have shown this several times, but just to remember, that's how I do it. You may do it in a different way. But the first stitch, I go under the top here, and from there on, and I don't mark. For me, precision is not important. I don't have a math mind, so I just go. But if you do,
you don't have to get it perfect. You just have to get it going.
Yeah, but
that.
Perfection is in the eyes of the beholder.
Oh yes.
I don't like to go for perfection or reality. I'm creating something, and however it goes, it goes. But if it's important to you, mark with a pencil where all the stitches will go. But you just go on both of them. So you insert from bottom to top. And it's going to create, see, it's going on the loop here, so it's going to create that blanket stitch. And most of you have done this. If you're Girl Scouts or belong to a church, you probably did projects where the blanket stitch was involved. And you go all around your piece. Remember here at the top, you're going to put something to hang this ornament, right?
Yes.
You can put just a piece of metallic thread, or you can get a beautiful piece of ribbon. Just remember to give it 2 stitches before you close the whole thing, so it doesn't show. But in case you forget, and I had some where I did forget, you stitch from the back and it's not going to show anyway. And you go all around, and then your piece is done.
And fantastic. It's looking fantastic.
A sign, date?
Yeah, sign and date. What, just with a permanent marker?
Well, you do have, you could use Sharpies, or today, most of us, we have those coloring pens like Copic or Arteza or any other brand, and those
just
are permanent. So you sign and you date.
And date it.
The thing about signing is, you know, you're creating this from a pattern. So you cannot say that is a piece of art, right? Because it's not. There is a pattern involved and somebody else designed, moi here. But you were going to give your feeling and your touch to these stories, right? Your roses are going to be in different places. You may use other stitches. It's going to be your piece. And again, made by you with your energy. Write your name in the back. Today you think this is not important, but maybe 30 years from now, when somebody pulls, 30, 50, 100 years from now, when somebody pulls that out of a Christmas box decorations and they look and they say, wow,
oh, how cute.
My great-grandmother did this.
How cool that is.
Or my best friend did this, or my school friend did this. So never undermine what you make, and understand that what you're making can become part of somebody else's memory as well. So do sign everything that you make. Even when you're saying this is not exactly art. No, it's not. It's a craft. But it still has your story here, your feelings and your energy. So it is important. And you should, before you sell or you give, you should sign.
Be proud of what you create,
exactly.
Right? And signing it is owning it. It's stepping in that zone of being proud of it. Proud of what you do.
When you get the pattern, you're getting Shahar's pattern. When the ornament is done, it's Vicky's ornament, it's Bev's ornament, it's Shailene's ornament. It's totally unique to you, even though you started with a template. And that has value. You took some time out of your day to create something, and every time we are creating something, we are saying, I matter, and I should be remembered. See, so you're never just creating a craft. You're telling your story.
Are you going to cry, Shahar? I feel like she's going to cry.
No, but what I think is people undervalue themselves all the time.
All the time.
Right? And we cannot do that. We have to exercise that we matter. Right? It's not just specific groups that matter. It's not just people that are going through hardships that matter. We all matter.
Yes.
And sometimes our daily life it can be lonely if you stay at home, if you don't need to work or things like that, and you start thinking, you know, that what you make is just a piece of felt. And it's not like that.
No.
What you're making, it's you. It's how you see. It's, you know, it's Vicky that likes chicken. Who is going to forget that Vicky likes chickens?
It's a piece of you.
Yes, it's a piece of you. It gets ingrained in what you do. And then you have to leave this behind, because at some point you're not going to be here anymore. But people can still tell your story. So don't deprive people of doing that by not sharing what you make and not making it obvious that it's yours. That's what it's important.
All right. So, Vicky, Marie, I know you love chicken. You got to create this.
Marie also loves chicken.
Marie, she's crazy about chicken. So, go to mondomarkettv.com. Grab your patterns. You can do it where we'll mail it out to you, or you can just do the instant download. We're launching this today, so it has a special price. So definitely take advantage of that. It comes with the instructions. It comes with the pictures. Pretty much everything that you need to get started. You just collect at home. Like Shahar said, you can even use the things that you have lying around that one day you're going to get to, like the wool and the craft felt. Get your embroidery floss and really just enjoy that process. And basically put a piece of you into it, right? Just like Shahar just said.
Well, you know, you may be thinking I'm just recycling some old sweater.
No.
Right? I saw on Facebook the other day a lady that she's a teddy bear maker. So she got an order from somebody, and she had the sweater of her grandfather. And she wanted this lady to make 3 teddy bears out of the sweater. They were gorgeous, by the way, the 3 of them. But think about the meaning that this has now. Right? Because a sweater is a sweater. At some point, it would go to a Goodwill or something, and you say, oh, gosh, I let it go. But now, those teddy bears, look at the story that they are going to tell.
Exactly.
So even that sweater that you think I'm just recycling, well, it's your sweater.
Yes.
It has a story.
Yes, exactly. I love that. By the way, Sheila said, that chicken and that fox are way cute.
Yes.
They're super adorable. I mean, look at all of these.
I love all of them.
And in the kit, you can get, it comes with the pattern, so you don't have to worry about knowing how to design these or what.
But it's not a kit, it's just the pattern instructions.
Yes, I said kit, but you get the pattern, it comes with the instructions and of course the pictures for you to look at. But look how adorable these are, and you get to make these a little piece of you. If you have, and you don't have just to use the wool, like Shahar said, if you have a special sweater from someone, you can actually give it meaning and create an ornament for it.
And nothing keeps you from using, for example, cotton on this.
You can use
just have a different piece at the end. Yeah, really, you can use other things, and if you use the fusible web, you don't have the fraying problem. So go for it. Don't limit yourself because I'm using felt and wool. Use whatever you think it's going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes. All right, Shahar, any final comments you'd like to leave our friends with today?
Well, make a purpose this year to create, and you know, despite if you love Christmas or not, it's a time that we celebrate birth, right? So make a lot of ornaments, give them away, give the idea, if you belong to groups, you know, any type of group out there, make the idea that we all create an ornament and we can exchange. I think that's super fun. Give it away, use in your tree, but you know, get into the habit of making things that matter to you. That's a good exercise.
I like that. Make things that matter to you. Yes. And remember what we said earlier. That's beautiful. Make things that matter to you and own your power, really, and be proud of the things that you create.
Yes.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
They are, you know, the first one, we never liked the first one. So just understand, it's the first one. I do that myself. I'm creating something.
We criticize ourselves so much, like ourselves, right? Like I'll criticize myself too much. Like especially she gets nervous when I'm crafting next to her because I'll be like, oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is wrong. The whole time, and she just like.
It's like you have all those Smurfies inside your head, but you have the happy crowd and you have the grumpy crowd. And I don't know why when we are making stuff, the grumpy crowd takes center stage.
Yeah,
and
what's wrong with that?
It's not straight. Oh, I've seen blanket stitchers way better than yours. And blah, blah, blah. And why do we allow that crowd to be center stage?
Yeah.
Tell them, get out of here, complaining.
Out.
Happy crowd, come in.
Yes.
Oh, what a beautiful piece of wool. Where did you buy that?
Wow, this has you all over it.
Yes.
Yes.
You choose which crowd should be in your mind.
Exactly. So. Okay, I feel like this is a good place for us to end today's show. Yes? So, remember, we're live every Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Eastern, and you can watch every Thursday, mondomarkettv.com. We come with another episode of your Sparkle of Creativity, and Shahar always has something very cool and special for you to do. So, tune back in next Thursday for another episode, okay?
Do that.
And you can always go back and watch previous shows. So if you're like, man, that camper that's sitting there is so adorable, I want to know how to do the camper ornament as well. Well, hey, all you have to do is go to the archives and watch it. Like, look how cute this is.
And don't forget about the other shows.
Yes.
We have Wednesdays crafting with Shailene. She's not going to be here next week, but she'll come back in the other. This Tuesday we have Jody with Hourglass.
Next Tuesday.
For those that fuse glass.
So I think Sheila, I think you're into glass fusing, right? Well, so come back for the Hourglass on Tuesday. That happens at 4 p.m. Mountain. 6 p.m. Eastern. So mondomarkettv.com. We have an excellent programming of shows, and you definitely just want to stay hooked and watch them all, okay?
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for being here. Go make beautiful things.
Yes.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.